I never imagined my marriage would collapse in a hospital room, the sharp antiseptic filling the air while my wife lay unconscious on a bed that was never meant to hold her. If you'd asked me a year ago, I would have said we were stable, not perfect, but steady. The kind of marriage where problems aren't solved, only buried quietly beneath routines and responsibilities. My name is Daniel.
I'm 38.
I've been married to Sarah for 9 years. We didn't fight openly. We didn't throw things. What we did instead was worse. We gradually stopped noticing each other. She grew distant, distracted, always scrolling through her phone, always out with friends, always working late. I told myself it was normal. I told myself not to be insecure. I told myself trust meant silence. But silence can be lethal in a marriage. The night everything fell apart, I received a call from an unknown number just after midnight. I almost ignored it. Who calls at that hour with good news? But something in my chest tightened. An instinct I couldn't name. I answered, "Are you the husband of Sarah Collins?" A woman asked. Her tone clipped, professional. "Yes," I said, already on my feet. "This is Mercy General Hospital. Your wife has been admitted through the ER. You need to come immediately." I asked what had happened, but she skirted the details. "The doctor will explain in person." The drive felt unreal. Empty streets, stoplights glowing red. I barely noticed my hands gripping the wheel until my knuckles whitened. My mind raced through every possibility. An accident, a fall, something worse. Infidelity hadn't yet crossed my mind. I wasn't ready for that truth. When I arrived, her purse sat at the nurse's station, not her car. That should have been the first warning. They guided me down a long hallway into a curtained room. Sarah lay there, one eye bandaged, her face swollen, bruises spreading across her arms like dark petals. She seemed smaller than ever, fragile, broken. My stomach sank. "What happened?" I asked, voice tight. The nurse glanced at me briefly, then away. "The doctor will explain." I stared at the woman I'd built a life with, trying to reconcile this image with the one in my mind. Her confident smile, the dismissive tone she'd adopted, the way she rolled her eyes when I asked where she'd been. Finally, the doctor arrived. Middle-aged, composed, the type who had delivered bad news so often it no longer showed on his face. "She has multiple contusions," he said. "A fractured rib, a concussion. She's stable now." I exhaled without realizing I'd been holding my breath. "Who did this?" I asked. The doctor hesitated just enough to make me notice. "She'd been brought in by a man," he said carefully, identifying himself as a friend. That word, friend, hit harder than the diagnosis. He continued, "The police have been notified. Domestic violence is suspected." Domestic violence. Not a robbery, not an accident. Someone she knew had done this. The doctor turned to leave, then paused, lowering his voice so the nurse outside couldn't hear. "There's something else you should know," he said. My heart pounded. "She kept asking for him," he explained. "Not you." Even while drifting in and out, the room felt like it tilted. "Who?" I asked, though I already knew. The doctor met my gaze, sympathy flickering. "The man who brought her in. She calls him her partner." Partner. That was the instant the truth slammed into me. Not slowly, not gently, but all at once. My wife hadn't been working late. She hadn't been out with friends. She had been living a second life, and I was just the background noise she returned to when convenient. Something inside me cracked. Not heartbreak, something heavier, colder. "Did he do this?" I asked. The doctor straightened. "I can't confirm that yet, but her injuries are consistent with an assault." I nodded numbly. When he left, I sat beside her bed, watching her shallow, uneven breaths. I should have felt rage, grief, panic. Instead, I felt clarity. All the signs I'd ignored fell into place. The secretive calls, the flinches when I touched her, the nights she returned smelling of a cologne I didn't own. Hours passed. At some point, her phone buzzed on the bedside table. A message lit up the screen. "Please don't tell him anything."
I'm sorry.
I didn't mean for this to happen. I didn't need to unlock it to know who sent it. That's when I realized something that startled even me. I wasn't angry at him. I was furious at myself for believing loyalty meant tolerating disrespect, for mistaking distance for peace, for ignoring my instincts for so long. Sarah stirred slightly, murmuring under her breath. I leaned in, expecting her to say my name. She didn't. She whispered his. And in that moment, sitting in a hospital room with my wife unconscious and my marriage already over, I made a decision that would change everything. Not out of revenge, not out of spite, but out of recognition.